content is seriously running out for Skyblock right now, and although we have a few things we're planning for the future, we don't have anything we can make into a video like our normal uploads in a tutorial or informative style, so instead, we thought a discussion style video would be good, or at least different to our normal content, so why not? So let's talk about dungeons and how it will change the game progression. Now, the first major issue I see is that dungeon classes are way too underpowered. Sure, mages are overpowered and tanks are in a pretty good space during the dungeons, but when it comes to bosses, they deal so much damage, more specifically Scarf in floor 2, that if you get caught in a bad spot by luck or making a single mistake, like hitting a priest and getting 3 hit by the warrior with nothing you can really do about it. As for healers, it's the class Furry E-Boy has been playing in alpha, and it's pretty strong in terms of team potential, but playing healer can be super boring. Aside from dying super easily from everything, you also deal nearly 0 damage to everything, and as far as actually playing the game, your job is to use your revive ability once every 2 minutes and place your overflocks. You do literally nothing else, and you die a frustrating amount of times. I think the healer personally needs a huge defensive buff, or at least an ability more interesting than a tiny portable overflocks. Hell, I even find healers more useful when they're dead, because at least they can effectively full heal all players close by every 20 seconds. Of course, the main issue with these classes is the Berserker. Despite being the current class every player uses whilst grinding, it's basically a super weak class because it's just as squishy as a mage but deals significantly less damage at shorter range. This wouldn't be too big of a deal, but it basically means that every player needs a set of Berserker gear and their class gear if they want to make any non-dungeons progress in Skyblock. What about the new progression system that's quietly being introduced? Well, if you aren't MVP++, then you probably didn't know that items are getting level requirements to use. Do I like this change? Personally, yes I do. Because it stops people getting items without really playing the game. But it's important to know that still grinding has to be made somewhat interesting or rewarding, similar to how combat XP is, as items with a mining skill requirement would not be fun to level up and unlock, given the mutant task of leveling up mining. I also agree that dungeon items should require a catacombs level to use, which will eliminate people stockpiling coins to buy OP items on release day and skip through all the dungeon progression in the few days. I think changes like this are needed to keep the Skyblock community alive, and as long as the requirements aren't too overwhelming, I wouldn't mind more items having these kinds of requirements.